Welcome back, Nancy Mimless.
Why, thank you, Brian Edward.
It is my pleasure.
It's my pleasure to be with you as well.
What would you like to discuss over martinis this evening?
Well, I would like to discuss opera theater's A New Fallout.
Have at it.
All right, I'll have at it. It's a world premiere. It was produced and commissioned by lots of different companies, helped to commission it, and the music is by Gilda Lyons, and the libretto is from a local playwright, Tammy Ryan, brilliant playwright, and the producer and the director are Jonathan Eaton, who you interviewed, and also the musical director and the conductor is Robert Frankenberry, who you also interviewed.
And
Tammy Ryan.
We've had Tammy Ryan on the show,
right.
too. Burgh Vivant gets around.
A cornucopia of people. Plethora. Skookum.
So
okay,
we know a lot of these folks.
Yeah. So the basic story is it's inspired by Rachel Carson, who was an environmentalist, a local. She's from Western Pennsylvania. And she wrote The Silent Spring, which is about the fallout on how the environment is connected to what people are doing and how dangerous things are and how they affect us. For example, spraying pesticides, we think, oh, we're killing the bugs, but we're also getting those chemicals. So the title, A New Fallout, is inspired by a testimony that she gave to the Senate in 1963 about this issue. And this basic story is a couple, Alice and Jack Front, who learn that she's pregnant. And the time that she learns that she's pregnant, her husband's company decides that they're going to spray their neighborhood with this DDT pesticide. And so she's torn because she starts reading Rachel Carson's Silent Spring, and she's torn on, what is this going to do to my baby? What is this going to do to me? It's set in 1962. The costumes are very fun, and the connection between all the characters is really amazing. Oh, and there's subtitles, even though it's in English, so they come across the dub.
Well, wait a minute. What language are the subtitles?
They're in English, but like sometimes.
What?
I know.
Maybe
sometimes it's hard to understand, I guess, for some people.
Or
so
maybe for the hearing impaired.
Maybe. Maybe that was it, the hearing impaired. But it was cool because there were times that they were a bunch of different people singing, and you could totally follow, because there were all the different voices.
I wish they would do that at like a Tom Waits concert, so I could understand what or a Bob Dylan concert,
Petty.
Yeah, so I can understand what they're saying.
But it starts with the young Alice and the older version of Alice, who has cancer and is in the hospital, and it did affect her. And her husband works as an ad man for a company, and all through the opera, they sing this line, better living through chemistry, or better living with chemistry, and it's sort of like this little madman jingle kind of thing that goes through it. And it's a conflict because she doesn't want to upset her husband and his company, but she ends up taking that company to court because she feels they're doing something dangerous. And of course her husband loses his job and their world changed. But it is connected, you know. Oh, and the sort of Greek chorus is the earth, science, and word, and it's sort of these voices that appear, and they use the space at the 20th Century Club brilliantly. People come in all the different entrances, all different types of voices. The three leads, so to speak, are young Alice, who's Laura Lynn Cottrell, and her voice gave me chills. She just soprano extraordinaire. And the older Alice, which is Daphne Alderson, who has the depth and despair of this woman who tried her, she keeps saying, I tried, and then Jack Front, the husband, who's played by Christopher Scott, and a million other people who are just as brilliant. All the friends of hers and the company men are all, and it is about their voices, but the story is something we can all connect with. How are we as humans in affecting our environment, and what's going to happen to us as humans down the road, and our children, and a lot of it is about the children. And it's so relevant because Rachel Carson's, this is 50 years ago, it's still being a topic that's discussed, and I don't know if we're any better off, but just that it opens up the dialogue for that is what Better Living with Chemistry. It's just really the music's beautiful. It's interesting. It's got a very much more opera feel than Damn Yankees was, because it's literally an opera. But what I liked most about it was all the different ages there. There was a lot of older people. There were some younger people. There were people that clearly have environmental activist kind of issues. You could see this as an important subject to them. And then, of course, Tammy Ryan, how can you not... I believe this is her first libretto. I'm not really sure,
yes.
But it just... The words that they're saying, and very much inspired by Rachel Carson's words, but it's just so... It's just such a human story because it's a husband and wife and their relationship and how it's affected by his job, which a lot of people can relate to, and also their world and their unborn child. It's just, Kerpow is what I would say about it, because one of the jingles for the bug spray is Kerpow. And so that's what I would say is it's a Kerpow production. You really want to go see it and experience the whole opera feel without it being in another language where you can't understand it, and also local ties, funded. I think it took 2 years to get it going, and an issue that we all can relate to.
What old jingles do you remember most from?
Oh, I remember tons of jingles. I remember Ancient Chinese Secret, huh?
That's not a jingle.
What was yours?
Let's see what I know. I'm the Chiquita Banana, and I'm here to say that bananas ripen in a very special way.
All right.
Now bananas come from the very tropical equator, so you must never put bananas in the refrigerator. I can't believe I remember all that.
That's really scary.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that did. It did. Okay.
Oh my God. I can't even remember what I did yesterday. What was the deal with Mr. Whipple? Like, don't squeeze the Charmin. Like, what was the problem with that?
You were squishing the toilet paper.
Right. Why was he so against that?
It ruins the product.
Does it?
Yeah.
If you squeeze, I mean, you're not like mangling it. You're just like,
Well, they weren't just. They were like. They were doing it like 5 times.
It's not like it's a cantaloupe at the grocery store. Maybe that was the joke.
That's the joke, I guess. I don't know.
This poor man.
His whole life was ruined.
And all people wanted to do was squeeze toilet paper, and he's just like, oh, not again. I mean, imagine when his alarm clock rang in the morning.
Imagine the Maytag guy,
He was probably like, oh, there's going to be a lot of
bastards that want to squeeze this toilet paper today.